opportunities every single day. Now, it's not my aim to instill that desire to trade every single day. But as a developing trader, you should be doing something in the marketplace in your demo account to build up your experience, build up your skill set. And it's not important that you see positive results, because you're going to learn more from the negative things, because it'll draw a highlight and a spotlight to where your weaknesses are. And you want to figure out what those are when you're outside the scope of risking live funds, because you will have everything you need to go into the marketplace realistically and have all of the potential to consistently draw out 6% per month. Now, again, for some of you who are new, it doesn't sound like much. It doesn't sound like I'm going to get rich real quick. And that's exactly what you need to be thinking right now. You need to be thinking, I'm not going to get rich real quick. Okay, I need to be consistent. You start with bread and butter consistency. Nobody out there goes from neophyte to super ultra rich, George Soros, Warren Buffett. It doesn't happen. That does not happen. There's a lot of growing. There's a lot of learning. There's a lot of losses between where you start and where you end up at. So if you've been consistent and you've adopted a mindset that you continuously do the same thing over and over again, and it's giving you a positive result, it doesn't mean you're going to be perfect in your trades or not taking losses. It just means that you're going to be consistently profitable on the net. Okay? You need to stop and think for a moment. Think outside your current conditions, okay, or your current limitations, because really you're only limited by your perspective right now. You're actually in a prison in your mind, thinking that you have to break out right now, and you got to get. Too many times I've spoken to folks that have really, they know how to trade. They absolutely know how to trade, but the psychological aspects of having to make money forces them to do things that they shouldn't be doing. So this is millionaire making. This is affluent lifestyle creation at its core. It's the absolute thing that everybody wants to know, but they won't listen to it when it's being taught to them. Because $61 over the course of 4 weeks, it's not exciting. It doesn't equate to I'm going to get rich. It doesn't equate to I'm going to replace my job. But that same amount of money started and compounded over the course of 1 year becomes over $2,000. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants out of their job. I don't care what they are, doctors, lawyers, all that stuff. They're doing these things to make a lot of money because they want to live well in retirement. I want to live well now. I want to do it right now because there's no guarantee I'm going to be old and healthy enough to enjoy money later on if I have it in a 401k. That's just the worst perspective on life there ever could be. You need to have your mindset now that you can easily, very quickly, in 10 years' time, okay, where else are you going to get $1 million in 10 years off of a $1,000 investment? It's just not going to happen for you. It doesn't happen unless you're going to hit the lottery. And that can all change in 2 years. 24 months can absolutely change the entire landscape of your entire existence. Everything changes. Because if you have $100,000, if you do these same things, you're making $100,000 a year. Do you make $100,000 a year at your job? Some of you in my voice earshot could probably say, yeah, I do that. I make more than that. Some of you in here own businesses. Some of you have businesses, okay, and you probably earn more than that. But majority of you don't. You don't. The idea is you need to figure out, obviously, what you're aiming for. If you don't have a target, you're going to hit it every time. If you aim at nothing, guaranteed you're hitting that target every single time. It's easy to do that. But you have to know what it is specifically you're looking for to make. Every business out there, every single business out there has sales projections. Am I right or wrong? So when you listen to someone, okay, after this teaching today, if you ever hear anyone tell you you should not look for making certain amount of pips per week, because I caught a lot of flack from people over there in baby tips back in 2010. These same goobers are still over there, and they still can't trade themselves out of a wet paper bag. The idea of knowing what to look for gives you that ability. If you understand what the market's telling you at any given time frame, you'll know exactly what it is that's available to you. But I want you to understand that it's not hard to do this 6% over here. It's not hard to do that at all. And if you do this, if you start with the 6% model, it's easy to expand on that. See, that's my point. And don't listen to people that say don't make targets, because targets are easy. If you don't have a target, why are you trading? Every trader out there has a target. You have to, or otherwise you don't know what you're aiming for. So with that, have yourself a very, very clever. What I've been doing my entire life. And they're like, how's that possible? Well, first of all, you got to understand that school is the indoctrination centers that make you stupid. All of us start out stupid. There isn't anybody that comes into this world and grows up as a child and is not falling out of the dumb tree and hitting every stupid branch. All of us are scarred with it. But the smart individuals, the ones that are thinking outside the box, they get a taste of that bullshit and they think, this is better. It has to exist because I can't keep doing this. I got a wife, I have a husband, I have children, I have, my weekend warrior friends that I hang out with. But is this it? This is it? This is the American dream? I'm tied to a 30-year mortgage. I'm paying out my ass. And then the government tells me I better pay more rent and property taxes each year, or they take the thing that I own away. And I got to go back to that same place that I can't stand to work around the same people because they're in the same situation I'm in. They're miserable. You're forced to be among other livestock. And you're wondering why the place stinks like shit. You got to change your setting. You got to do that. Your employer ain't going to be like, you know what? You've been doing such an exceptional job. You deserve a new lifestyle. Let me make that happen for you. Don't report to work anymore. Stay home. I'm going to send you checks for nothing because you deserve it. You did very, very well. You were outperforming your quota for the last 6 months. And instead of employee of the year, you get a new lifestyle. Would that be great if it did that? Like that's what you all worked for. That type of thing. That's the kind of pension plan that would really get people wanting to work. But obviously, that's fiction. It's never going to happen. But you're either going to eat crap and deal with that the rest of your life until you can't do it anymore. That means get old, body breaks down, and live a miserable golden age of your life because you didn't do anything. See, you are watching me do it and others do it. And you may be thinking, I got time until something in my personal life happens, and then I'll be more focused to do it. No, you need to focus right now. It's knocking. You're going to answer the door. Because if you don't do it, if you don't start working towards it right now, I promise you, in the next 6 to 18 months, you're going to be so overwhelmed with uncertainty, anxiety, fear, because of all the shit that's going to be going on in every country. You're not going to be able to stop. And you're going to be so panicked. You're going to be so fearful of what's going to be happening to you. Where are you going to make your ends meet? Are you going to be evicted? Are you going to lose your home? Are you going to take your car because you can't pay the note on it? You have to find a way to make income. You have to. It's crunch time, folks. It's time to get off your ass, put aside all those things you're wasting time with, and start working towards learning this skill set while you can. Get what you can. You have to get up, shake yourself, see the opportunity, and seize it. Take it by force. You cannot sit around and rest on your laurels. You sit around like a lazy ass, I promise you, you will be crying. 18 months or less. That's the timeline. That's when shit gets really hard.
Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You have control of this. This belongs to you. This is yours. You're the captain. You're the master. You're the foreman. You're the general. You're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody. Get off of Instagram snap, and get off all these blogs, and get into something that can really, really move your life forward. Listen, getting successful, it's not a magic trick. You can decide to be rich. It's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change.
In the Forex industry. Now, how did ICT go from a great number of people respecting him to the industry's biggest fraud? I bring you the rise and fall of ICT. ICT, or Michael J. Huddleston, is a veteran trader extra for an extra 20, 30, 40 hours a week. This is the most serious accusation, and we're going to pull up some absolute proofs for this. And this is the thing that makes my fucking blood boil now. This is fucked up. There was an attack on Vinny's phone, and you guys will see on this clip here that it kept calling him and calling him, and Vinny had explained to me what's basically happening.
I'm out there live streaming. It's a late night, and around 2 a.m., my phone starts getting dialed again, bro. Attacking my phone. So here are all of the numbers that have been calling for the last 10 minutes.
All these numbers are spam calling him so that it annoys him and he turns off his phone. And now something about this hack, it allows the spammer then to, once he's turned off his phone, get access to the SIM card, get then access to the phone and reset passwords and really ruin somebody's life. So Vinny, being the smart guy he was, he went in and he found the character behind this attack and he contacted him.
I'm literally right in the middle of a live stream, so I'm getting ding-dong at 2 a.m. The guy's starting to do this, usual thing. I get into his head, and I'm like, hey, listen, man, honestly, I'm a nice guy. Can you tell me, do you hate me? Why do you hate me? And I can tell he's got a Mexican accent. He says, oh, you know who it is, man. I'm like, no, who? And he's like, you know Mike. And I'm like, Mike? No, bro, I don't know any Mike. Mike who? And he's like, no, Mike Huddleston. And I'm like, fuck me. I'm like, bro, I got him. Basically, we have this negotiation. He accepts my offer. I have the PayPal fucking transaction information and ID of everything, of him paying.
Another trader named Trader Dante, he was also posting some things about a possible exposing of ICT. And on that exact same day, Dante actually started receiving the exact same attack as well. Now, Dante, being a much more cautious person, stopped. Now then, the last and most serious thing that we just need to mention is there were serious threats against Vinny's family. He said he was coming for Vinny. He said he was coming for Vinny's wife.
I just want you to know that I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
I don't know who you are.
You did something way past trading. This is actually on a human fucking level.
What are you talking about?
You disrespected another man and talked to another man like he's a fucking child. What the fuck do you think I'm talking about, you little bitch boy? I'm going to wring your fucking neck, bro. I'm going to wring your neck.
My freshman year, I don't play a lick. And before I knew it, I lost my mindset again. I began to recalibrate. Everybody doesn't play in the NBA. I'll graduate in 4 years. I just go get a good job. It's okay. It's okay. And at the end of my freshman year, my daddy called me on the phone. He asked me a question. He said, son, you're not playing. Why not? Politics, Dad. It's political. My father asked me a question. He says, how did your coach get paid, son? I said, Daddy gets paid to win. He says, okay, son. If your coach gets paid to win, won't he play the players and give them the best chance to win? He said, son, you got recruited. You took all your visits. You chose Minnesota. You took the time. You chose Minnesota. You told me that you're going to turn that program around. You told me you're going to graduate in 4 years. You told me you're going to make more money in business than you did in sports. One of the core values of our training and development called family was accountability. That was a core value of that training and development organization called the Bond Family Accountability. He said, so go back and do what you said you're going to do. My father reminded me of what I said I was going to do. I went back to my coach's office. I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He looked confused. This is what I told him. I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? I'm taking this thing to the next level. We about to rise up. So for you to be passionate, your logic and your emotions need to be intertwined. See, some of you guys have the intellect and some of you guys have the passion, but you have to have both to be successful in this business. Sharks are hunters and predators. They never stop swimming. In fact, if a shark stops swimming, it will die. If a shark goes backwards, it will die. Think like a shark, act like a shark, and behave like a shark. Can I ask you a question right now? Can I ask you a real question? Not your neighbor, I'm talking to you. What kind of student are you right now in life? You're in charge of your promotion. If you do 5 million and want to get to 10, you're in charge. In order for you to rise up, you better take your game to the next level. Your mindset needs to go to the next level. Your information needs to go to the next level. Your relationships need to go to the next level. Take your money and get information and access, and you will get good habits and good rituals, and you will go to the next level. Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He said, you can't run, you can't jump, you can't dribble, you can't shoot, and you can't rebound, son. Next year, I'll be your most improved player. I'm going to think, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to think, I'm going to execute, and I'm going to win. I'm going to execute what I've been trained to do. I'm connected to a shark. I'm connected to the greatest training organization in the world. And when I get home, I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do? You need to have an honest self-assessment about what your weaknesses are. And that's how you get to the next level. My sophomore year rolls around. We go all the way to the Sweet 16, and I'm the top 6 man in the country. I go back to my coach. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? The list got shorter. The next year, we went all the way to the Elite 8. We were 1 shot away from the Final 4, and I was the top 6 man in the country. I carved out a niche. And that's what impact players do. They make their community better. They make their city better. They make their town better. They make realtors better. Be an impact player, and anyone in your life, if they need a shark, you become their shark. All I had to do was have 1 good year, and I walked right into the NBA. My senior year, everything lines up. But the first game of my senior year, I break my foot. I come back in 6 weeks and I break my foot a second time. In my mind, my college career was over and my NBA dreams were dead. I averaged 7 points a game. I got offered a $75,000 job because one of our season ticket holders liked me. Right before I took the job, my daddy called me on the phone. He would always ask the right questions at the right time. He said, you had a tough year, son. What's next? I said, Daddy, I'm going to be a hospital administrator, $75,000 job. He said, not bad, son, but can I ask you a question? You need basketball, Dad. We're educated, Dad. We're not dependent on basketball, Dad. We're balanced, Dad. We're educated, Dad. I got a $75,000 job, Dad. Do you believe, son? He was checking my mindset. He was checking to see, was I thinking like an A student? Was I falling back into that C mindset? Do you believe you're an NBA player? I said, yeah, Dad, I do. He said, well, go for it, son. But Dad, I never started in college. But. My father said, you told me, son, that you're going to turn that program around and you did it from the bench, son. You told me you're going to graduate in 4 years, son. The average student graduates in 5. I'm proud of you. But you told me that you're going to play in NBA. And you told me you're going to make more money in business than you did in sports. Do you believe you're an NBA ball player? Daddy, go for it, son. Go for it. I go back to my coach's office, and I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? He teared up. I teared up. He said, I'll be honest with you, son. When I recruited you, I heard you was a mama's boy. But you're not. In fact, you're one of the toughest players I've ever had. I'm a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. I go all over the world running my mouth. But he gave me the greatest compliment I've ever received. He said, you're just like your daddy. Was my opportunity to turn into a shark myself. If you hang around sharks long enough, it will transform your mindset, and I promise you, you will be like a shark. You will think like a shark. And you can't go backwards, and if you stop swimming, you will die. So ladies and gentlemen, you're connected to the right shark. All you need to do is be a good sucker fish. Success is all around you. Just pay attention. Every time you leave a business meeting, consciously and subconsciously, that person is debriefing you. Are you likable? Do you brighten up a room when you enter, or do you brighten up a room when you leave? Are you good with people? And don't you ever be a serial parasite, which means don't you ever come to this conference and go back home and do nothing. And then claim, oh, I tried and it didn't work. No. My college basketball coach said, son, I think you should be a motivational speaker. I said, Coach, I can talk the rest of my life. What do I need to do to play in the NBA? He said, if you do these two things, you play in the NBA. You got to better shoot the three-point shot with range. And you got to lose about 15 pounds because you don't pass the eyeball test. When I talk about the eyeball test, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. He says the NBA thinks you're a football player trying to play basketball. You got to lose weight to change the perception. I lost 15 pounds, and I became the first ever undrafted rookie free agent in the history of the NBA to start opening night.
One of the biggest and most in the comment section about this as well. You go through your charts, just like I'm doing here, and you annotate them. Now, in all these areas where there's empty space here, or over here, or over here, you're putting in little notations, and you're typing them out. And yes, it takes time. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it takes a great deal of effort and desire. But this stuff rewards that. It rewards it. It's not like fantasy football where, who cares if your team wins? This pays you. This is something that you can feed your family with, okay? If you need your expenses to be reduced and you don't want to get another job, or you take a pay cut and you get a job loss or whatever, this skill set can fortify any weak links in your financial chain. Okay, you want to build strength in your ability to make income and build legacy wealth. It's worthwhile for you to spend time learning this. And that means going back through old charts and old moves and literally going in and annotating the moves like this and mapping them out and seeing the logic that's there. Now, do not be afraid that you're going to do it wrong. All of you are going to be doing it wrong in the beginning. This is a skill set in backtesting you're trying to discover. Record it like you saw it happening and knew it was going to happen in advance. That's called self-talk. Okay? You're literally tricking your brain into seeing your annotations as something that you foreseen coming. And that way, when you go back and you read your journal, and you study it on the weekends, or whenever you go through a period of drawdown, you need encouragement, You go back to your charts in your journal, and you'll see annotations that you wrote out yourself, and it tricks your brain into believing that you've seen that all along. Now, what happens by doing that over time is you have created creases in your brain where that knowledge and that pseudo experience has been retained. But your brain remembers it as what? A real experience that you endured. But you're recording it with positive reinforcement in your commentary. Never put negative comments in your annotation. Don't say like, oh, I was stupid, I missed this. Oh, I'm so dumb, I fell victim to the shark pattern. Don't do all that kind of stuff. All I'm asking you to do is put everything you think you understand, put it aside for a moment, just for a little while, and go in and do the things I'm telling you to do. I guarantee you, you will absolutely fall in love with this, because this is consistency. This is consistency that you have always hoped for, but everything else just falls short in delivering it. And you're getting it for free. It's growing. This train's gonna keep on rolling. Yeah. This community is getting bigger and bigger because it's infectious. Results matter. Proof matters. And when students go into this and they see the results, man, it's sweet, isn't it? Isn't it sweet when you see the truth finally just laid out in front of you? There's no trickery here. There's no twisting of your arm, give me your credit card payment. You don't have to blow any kisses to me, okay? I don't need flowers.